What is the most exciting thing about working at GI as the CEO? What do you say?
I'm tempted to say the graduate program, but that sounds too corny. But it is things like that. It's things where the business is running quite well and we're making progress, and you're able to stop and think left field and go, wait a minute, we're missing something. And then to talk people around, win them over, and to be able to start a new program to do something. So, and the graduate program fits into that.
The best thing about working at Global Invacom is that you have a lot of opportunities available to you. If you want to travel, you can do. If you want to, look for new business, you can do anywhere. There is no limit. I haven't been stopped, or Global hasn't come to me and said you can't do this. If I want to do something, I can with the right support, and I've always had the right support within Global Invacom.
Through the last year, we've aggressively went after the graduate students, try to give a younger generation the experience that we've got, and as you know, everything electronically now, PlayStation games, etc., it's all going 5G, the telecommunications, everything is going 5G. Global Invacom will still be in this market 5 years to come. We're giving great opportunities to young people. That's across the world, not just in one location, across the whole world. Global Invacom is going to be the future.
In essence, you have to be open-minded when you enter this industry, because you learn new things and you have to be open to change, because this industry is always evolving with technology, as you know, and an individual that is open-minded would actually be able to quickly learn, but at the same time fit in and adapt to the environment that we're in.
Well, we are not at all top-heavy. We're a very flat organisation, yeah? And that tends to mean that a lot of people in the organisation are actually, first of all, big fish in a small pond, and that they have a lot of responsibility. And if you take most of our design engineers, whilst they are working in teams, a lot of them are actually either personally responsible for a product development from start to finish, or are responsible with just one or two others. Yeah, and so therefore that sense of achievement and that responsibility is great within Global Invacom.
I definitely think that I've gained a lot better analytical skills in terms of system overview and looking at how it's all being integrated from an engineering perspective. And I definitely think that this is going to help me throughout my career or the goals that I want to achieve later on. The graduate opportunity here in GI was very, very, very nice, because a lot of the engineering team in there has loads of experience and they actually guide you quite a lot.
I think whenever you get to actually use stuff, you get to learn it a lot better. So I think it's cool. You learn a lot of the theory, and then you can kind of come here and implement it, and it kind of sticks better in your head. And you learn a lot more because it's a lot broader than at university.
Yeah, I think the graduate program is excellent. It's something that we're not doing enough as a business, as a whole business, as in the satellite business isn't doing enough. There's a lot of very aging people that are coming around here, and nobody's really coming through. So taking this opportunity to drag people into a world of satellite where there are a lot of old people who have what seems like hundreds of years of experience, and then enabling them to work in that market and make them understand that actually they have items to offer. Their keenness, their drive, the opportunities are there for them to develop into the market and also to progress quite quickly.
I've been here for about a year and 2 months.
What has your experience been like so far?
It's been good, yeah. Been very supportive, really. I think everyone's. We give you new information. They're not afraid. Well, they make you not afraid to ask any questions.
Yeah. So the corporate culture at GI, and I'm talking mainly about my area, is quite collaborative, very supportive. Very often you see people, when they have a question, they go to somebody that might be much more senior, ask the question, and usually they get help. The general culture is also quite flexible. We have flexible working hours, although we do have sometimes work peaks where people have more challenges, people then get the flexibility to also relax from this work. And of course, with the challenges come also great opportunities to grow. So we have less experienced and more experienced employees, where the experienced employees try to pull the less experienced employees along to grow and become better at what they're doing.
It was an exciting journey when I joined. I wasn't really not prepared, but I didn't really know what to expect. But it was great once I joined. Sort of in the first few months, I got the hang of everything and sort of went with the ropes. So funnily enough, I never actually travelled before I joined GI. And then when I joined, within the first 6 months, I had to go to China. And you can imagine that was a long flight, especially for a first-time flyer. But travelling's a great part of the job. You get to meet new people, experience new cultures, and yeah, I just enjoy it overall.
It's been very challenging but exciting. When I joined Global, I didn't know anything about the satellite industry or the products, but along the way, all the supports and training has been provided, which prepared me for my role here at Global.
So we desperately need to bring young, bright people into this industry to drive the next generation. And we started doing that with sales guys a couple of years ago, continued it the following year, it was about 3 years ago, continued the following year, and then we got the opportunity to introduce some engineers, both production engineers and design engineers. We're extending that into other business units this year. We've done some work in America. Our design team over there is a very young design team, apart from the guy that's heading it up. So yes, it's by need to refresh the industry, and I do mean refresh the industry. I walk around industry seminars and shows, and it's full of old guys. Well, we take about 6 months to induct, but that's just the beginning, because in any role, in any job, it's a lifelong process. You're improving constantly. So we try and give them core skills such as finance for non-financial professionals, a little bit about design and technology, a little bit about managing across cultures, because we work across many cultures in the world, so you can't just try and instill your personal local cultures on anybody. To prepare them, and then it's into the field, either doing design work, being involved in projects, being involved in bringing things into production, or selling our products. And it's really trial by fire. We give a lot of freedom, and we have a lot of trust and faith, and I believe in doing that and then picking up the pieces rather than holding people back and saying you're not ready, because you just don't know. What's great is our guys and girls have shown their capabilities, have suggested things and moved forward, and people have, you build respect and go, actually perhaps we need to push on a little bit quicker. Inevitably there's situations where maybe we pushed a little bit too quickly, and then it's quite difficult. What you've got to say, okay, we need to take a step back. But those, I have to say, have been few and far between. So far it's been brilliant.
What advice would you have for aspiring engineering graduates under the graduate program that you
offers? First of all, great that you are going down that path, because actually the country needs young engineers. So fantastic that any engineer has decided to take up a career in engineering. And then I think the opportunities are there for you as an engineer to make a mark. You actually can be involved developing products. I think what I'd encourage younger engineers to do is to try and learn from the old dogs, the old, like myself, the old geezers. And I think that a combination of young, enthusiastic engineers with a lot of energy, coupled with the old guys, can actually be a great winning combination.
Definitely don't get stuck in university mindset. That's very important, because it's about how you use your skills to what you actually are applying in your work. So you're not gonna have that structured, I guess, analysis that you normally do in university. It's more about thinking out loud. So don't contain yourself in a box.
What advice would you have for any aspiring graduates to join GI?
I would definitely make sure that you understand what the company is, the capabilities of the company. It's a very, very large company than actually you think it is. We have a huge customer base across the world. We have offices in America, Israel, China, Philippines, all around the world. So Global Invacom, in essence, works 24/7. So make sure you do your background research of what Global Invacom is, and the graduate scheme is the best I've actually come across. So I've been having a good time here.
I'd say be willing to work hard, but also be willing to have fun. That's my advice to any graduates that join, and whether that be on the sales team or on the technical side, because there's a lot of hard work involved in it. Whether you're looking at meters or whether you're going out on the road and meeting with customers. So yeah, but just enjoy yourself.
Perfect. Now then.